wise people of a strong country. Today, we have good news. Our defenders are advancing in the Kiev region, regaining control over Ukrainian territory. They liberated Irpin. Well done. I am grateful to everyone who worked to achieve this result. The invaders are being pushed away from Irpin. They are being pushed away from Kiev. However, it is too early to talk about security in this part of our region. The fighting continues. Russian troops control the north of Kiev, have resources and manpower. They are trying to rebuild the broken units. The level of their losses, even at 90%, is not an argument for them to stop. Hundreds and hundreds of burned and abandoned enemy military equipment do not convince them that this will be the case with everyone. Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, Donbass, southern Ukraine, the situation everywhere remains tense, very difficult. This is a ruthless war against our people, against our children. As of this day, 143 children are known to have died. Mariupol remains blocked. The Russian military did not allow the organization of any humanitarian corridor today, did not allow the creation of a regime of silence. Therefore, the situation must now be viewed in a balanced way, as wisely as possible. Without excessive euphoria from success, but still do not get depressed. We still need time. We still need weapons. We still have to fight, we have to be patient. We can't give in to emotions right now. You can't overestimate expectations just to not burn out emotionally. I spoke with the leaders of the partner countries. It was a very active diplomatic day. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom Johnson, the Prime Minister of Canada Trudeau, the Chancellor of Germany Scholz, the Prime Minister of Italy Draghi, and the President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev. We have agreed with Britain to further support our defense and strengthen sanctions against the Russian Federation. Canada also supports a tougher response from the world to the disaster created by Russian troops in Ukrainian cities. In a conversation with German Chancellor Scholz, I also paid considerable attention to the need to increase sanctions pressure on Russia. I thank the President of Azerbaijan for the humanitarian support provided to Ukraine and informed about the state of affairs in the territories where Russian servicemen entered. Italy has agreed to become one of the guarantors of Ukraine's security in the relevant new guarantee system that we are currently working on. Tomorrow, I will continue this activity. I will talk to other world leaders. I will work with international organizations, with the peoples of Europe and the world. Ukraine cannot and will not agree with the passive sanctions position of some subjects towards Russia. There should be no suspended sanctions packages. They say that if the Russian troops do something, then there will be some answer. We already passed this stage last year, when we said that strong preventive sanctions against Russia were needed to prevent an invasion. The preventive package was not made. A full-scale war has begun. There are now many hints and warnings that the alleged tightening of sanctions, such as an embargo on Russian oil supplies to Europe, would be in place if Russia uses chemical weapons. I just have no words. Just think what it all came to. We have to wait for chemical weapons. Do we living people have to wait? And doesn't everything that the Russian invaders are doing and have done before deserve an oil embargo? Doesn't their use of phosphorus bombs deserve it? Doesn't the fired chemical plant or the fired nuclear power plant deserve it? It is important for us that the sanctions packages are effective and serious enough, given what is already being done against Ukraine by the Russian Federation. If the sanctions packages are weak or do not work enough, if they can be circumvented, it creates a dangerous illusion in the Russian leadership that they can continue to afford what they are doing now. And Ukrainians pay for it with their lives. That's thousands of lives. Therefore, starting this week, we are creating a group of experts at the President's office, Ukrainian and international, who will constantly analyze the sanctions against Russia and what they really affect. Our goal is for the sanctions to work the way they intended to work, and that there was no possibility to bypass them. This must be the goal for the whole democratic world without exception. During the week I will speak in the parliaments of the partner countries, Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Greece, Australia. It is important that these are speeches not just in front of politicians, they are speeches in front of societies, in front of millions of people who want to hear Ukraine and are ready to hear it to help and support. People who feel that we are fighting for our common freedom, one for all people on our earth. I pay attention everywhere that no one has the right to use the lives of Ukrainians to save some of their income in Russia or in common with Russia. And Ukrainians should not die just because some cannot find the courage to hand over the necessary weapons to Ukraine.
І українці не повинні гинути тільки через те, що дехто не може знайти в собі сміливість, щоб передати Україні необхідну зброю.
Fear always makes you responsible. If someone is afraid of Russia, if someone is afraid to make the necessary decisions that are important to us, in particular to get planes, tanks, necessary artillery, shells, it makes these people responsible for the catastrophe created by Russian invaders in our cities. Because if they could save, they had to save. The peoples of Europe, the peoples of the world, will definitely hear and support me. And all politicians should think now what they will be left with if they do not correspond to the position of their people. And finally, this is already traditional. Just before recording this appeal to you on camera, dear Ukrainians, I signed 2 important decrees on awarding servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine with state awards. At the request of our Commander-in-Chief, 2 of our defenders are awarded. Thank you for your service, to all of you. Glory to all our heroes. Glory to Ukraine.
Слава усім нашим героям. Слава Україні!